So there's a competition that I've not been focusing on. There's a competition that I've not been prioritizing, and I've just been throwing my leftovers in it. And looking back, it's actually the wrong decision for me and for somebody for the size of my gallery. So things are about to change, and I'm going to tell you about some transfers or some players that I've actually come in and bought, and the reasons why I've bought them, and how they're going to help me compete in this competition and hopefully get some nice rewards from it. So first things first is talking about this guy who's now entered into my gallery. So this is Niang. People might recognise him when he played in the where did he play in the Prem? Didn't he? He played for he was at Tottenham. No, surely not. Wow. Okay, seems like he's had a lot of clubs there. I was almost certain that he played in the Prem at some stage, but I didn't think it was for Spurs. Anyway, let's look at his current team. Adana there. You might be looking at that thinking it's not great, is it? You know, it's not the best scores. However, he has had a few sub appearances, and if we take them out and we take away the benches and we take away the DMPs, he's not too bad. He is going to get some decisives, and he's playing in a team now that seem to have turned a corner this season and got back to a little bit of winning ways. Not only that, at home, they are very, very good. And I probably will start looking at their defensive. Well, I already am looking at some of their defensive players anyway. But Niang, he takes their penalties, or he shares them with Balotelli. He took the last one, coming off the back of a brace as well. He's not a massive AA kind of scorer, but what it allows me to do is to almost always play him or always be an option for cap 240 because he's kind of up and down so much. So he comes into the, let's just go to all teams in L15 because that'll probably change a little bit. Yeah, he's got one fixture in there for Auxerre. But I am happy to welcome him into the team. I think they've got some good fixtures coming up. Obviously not the next one, but for this one against Sivasspor, even though they're away, I think it's an okay fixture for him. And then he's got a couple of home games in the upcoming weeks, which I think we'll do very well in. Now, it seems as though if he starts over Balotelli, then when Balotelli comes on, he'll move over to the left flank. But I really, yeah, as I said, I mean, he's a bit of a journeyman. I didn't really know that. I thought it was only 3 or 4 clubs, but he seems like he's going to be finding his home there. So I brought him in for cap 240 because that is the competition that I've been avoiding, and that's the competition that I need to start focusing on. Then I brought in Quetta. Now, I've been looking at bringing in a challenger forward because it's definitely an area of my gallery that was missing. I mean, I'll just show it to you very quickly here. When I go over to forwards, rare, super rare, etc. Now, if you take away, let's filter it even further, right? Let's take away the America forwards that I've got in there. I had 3 champion Europe strikers, which gives me a decent depth. They're all got good AA and they're all good players. And then I only had Pencil in there at that time. Now, what this allows me to do is bring in a cap 240 player like Niang. And he gives me coverage as well. When we're coming into Christmas and Turkey play over Christmas, then Niang is going to be there for me, so I can utilize him. But as I said, not only that, it's because from a score point of view, he is going to do well for me in that competition. But I brought in Quetta as well as a challenger, a challenger forward because he smashes, and I've done sort of quite a bit of research this season around challenger forwards. It was almost between him and Tadic. And people might be saying, well, Tadic is absolutely miles better. But yeah, he's also 0.15 more than him and funds that I just haven't got at the moment in the game. And I weren't prepared to put some more in. So if you look at his last scores or just his scores this season, from an AA standpoint, he's very, very good as a forward. He takes some of their set pieces. He's their penalty taker as well. He scores goals for fun. I mean, he can do it against the toughest opponents. Look, against Genk there, that's what, he went ahead and got 100. And then even against USG there, he still got 23 AA. And I don't think this is a fluke in terms of how many games has it been? What, maybe 10, 11? And he's averaging, I mean, if we just do it by L15, he's averaging 16 AA for a forward. And if you've been following the channel, you know that I love a forward with AA. I think it's the best way to play the game. If they don't get decisive, they're not killing your lineup. So he comes in and he's got, again, some good fixtures coming up. The next 2, I mean, he's playing Upin this week. He's actually my captain when I come and show you my lineups at the end. Captain in Cap 240 as well, because I've put him in there because what I'm going to try to do in that competition, and I'll talk about it more when I come to it, as I've just said. But what I want to do is captain an absolute sort of banger, good fixture, good AA, chance of decisives, and it almost doesn't matter what his L15 is because I'm kind of going to build it around him because I'm hoping that he gets like a 75, 80 plus. That's kind of what I'm going with in terms of a strategy, but it might not always happen week in and week out, but it certainly happened this week. And then we've got Westerlo, we've got Michelin, we've got OHL, we've got RWDM. We've got some really good fixtures coming up for him, and then it turns a little bit tougher. So as you can see there, the next 5 opponent scores for him, he's going to be good. But enough about him. He's in Enter the Gallery, and he will rival Pencil for me if I'm entering in Challenger lineups, but also he comes into play as well from an all-star point of view. Like, absolutely. The other guy I've brought in as well is to almost pair with Niang, and it's this guy who's been injured for a long time. But what you can see here is what he can do. And I brought him in as a threshold. If I show you his L15 there, you can see obviously there's a load of DMPs. With a few games in there that's going to keep it down for a couple of weeks, which is going to be good. But if he can start performing to this level again when he's come back, not only are we happy to hopefully get some rewards and some ETH out of him from a Cap 240 point of view, but also I wouldn't be against putting this guy into a strong lineup if he gets to this back to this form. Now, slightly annoying is that when I picked him up, you'll see here on the graph, let's just go by 1 week. Obviously, people are starting to realise that he's back. This guy here, he had it listed for 0.05, I think it was, and it's his number 1 jersey. And then I put a bid in just below it, or at that time I didn't have the ETH because I didn't make a trade or something, I don't know. And then he was the only one on the market, so he rejected it and then just put it up for double the price. So I was just like, brilliant, thanks a lot. End of the day, I went for an older card. It's got like 2.5 XP on it or something. So I ended up paying probably what I bid for the number 1 jersey. But again, with Cap 240, I think what people need to realize is because players are so cheap now, I could probably get that back quite quickly with a guy like him if he's going to be scoring that sort of 60s, 70s for a few game weeks. So I'm happy. I'm not going to do a full collection of this club. I will probably have a couple of them or maybe a few of them, but the collection bonus and them being new cars, etc., I'm not really bothered. It would just be a bonus for me. So, but Badu comes into the gallery as well. So 3 new signings for me. What do my teams look like for this week? So I'm going to run through them for you. The Champion Europe rare side. So I'm in a position at the moment where I'm having to play Champion Europe. I think I've got the good cards to do it. I'm definitely showing the wrong thing there as well. I've definitely got the cards to do well in that competition, but where they've got Cap 270 at the moment, that's got this kind of mumps thing that I just don't even want to touch. I'm being forced to play Champion Europe to utilize my cards basically. Now, Champion Europe, we've got Bayer Leverkusen against Hoffenheim. Now, it's pretty good fixture. I think there's going to be quite a lot of goals in there. I think Bayer Leverkusen dominate the ball. Hoffenheim hit them on the counter attack, but I expect maybe like a 4-2, something like that. I think there's a couple of other people that expect this to be like a really juicy and exciting game as well. And then we got our boy Alex Garcia in there again, wearing the captain's armband. He's away against Osasuna. At the moment, he almost just picks himself in terms of my priority lineups and wearing the captain's armband as well because he has all sets. And how he's still this cheap, I personally don't know when he's just smashing scores like this. When Veerman is triple the price. Madness, in my opinion. And then we've got Kingsley Coman there against Dortmund, which hopefully they should be bouncing back hard against that big defeat that they had midweek. Hopefully Coman does it for me. It should be a very, very entertaining game as well. So let's see what happens. The one after that I prioritized was All-Star Rare in terms of like my kind of top end players, so to speak. Unistal, so FC20 against Utrecht. That should be a clean sheet in theory, but it is away from home. Who knows? But if they do come in, then Proper should hit that sort of 60 to 70. Same as Unistal. I've got some decent XP on Unistal as well. Then I've actually paired, and this was a decision that I had to make, whether I put Pencil in the 240 and Croata in the All-Star, or leave it as what I've got it now. And I've decided to stack the Genk boys together. Now, they have got a tough fixture against Antwerp, but let's see. Let's just see what happens. All I need is that right-hand side to absolutely cook for Genk. And, they're in the points. And then Herrera doing like bits just recently and all season for me. Such a good card with a AAA fixture. He is away from home. He scored a 98, I think it was, in the first fixture because they're doing the best of 3 at the moment. But he wears the armband, so everyone is away from home, but they're all capable of decisives and all capable of good scores. After that, let's talk about this competition that I've been banging on about, and that being Cap 240. I think in the last sort of 2 to 3, no, probably 3 months, I've only actually hit threshold once, but maybe or twice. And for a gallery that's my size, as I said at the beginning of the video, I should be prioritizing that because the way that card prices are going at the moment, I could pick up some really good cards by getting threshold for a few weeks on the bounce. I do need to start working towards super rares as well, because my America ones that I'm not going to be able to use for X amount of weeks or months until the season starts again. And I just need to keep the gallery ticking over. I don't want to be relying on winning like a tier 4 and then selling it to a bot or something like that to get in what the equivalent would be from a threshold. Let's give myself the chance to actually win a reward in threshold, but not only that, get the threshold ETH or money, whatever I decide to, get it into my account as well. So this is the team that I've gone with. I've gone with the USG stack against Club Brugge. So it is a bit of a difficult one, but I've got some, I don't know why Sorare is saying that, but I've got like 8.5% on Morris. I've got a decent-ish percentage on Burgers as well. And if they do hit that clean sheet, then they should be high in numbers. Then we've got Papa making his debut in here. His card says Papa, but this says Badu. Strange. Anyway, he comes in with a AAA fixture, and as I said, he's capable from an AA standpoint to do very, very well. And then we've got the other 2 new boys up top. Niang hoping for a decisive there. They've got 41% chance that they're going to win. It's 3rd versus 10th. He seems to be in form. Let's see what happens. Just get that decisive for me. And then we've got Quetta. He's actually playing tonight, so it'd be interesting to watch that. With the captain's armband, because I'm expecting him good AA and I'm expecting a decisive as well. So fingers crossed this is the week that I get back into the swing of things with threshold and I get some ETH coming into my gallery. The only other decision that I had to make, by the way, was Burgers or Shano or Chanot, however you pronounce his name. I think Chanot was probably the better choice, but I've almost gone for it as if they do have the clean sheet, then Burgers should score quite highly. I've just went like kind of all or nothing there, but hopefully it does the business for me. And then I've got a is it the last one? I think it is. Yeah, we've got Stephen Fry and Tolu coming off the back of a very, very good score, and I will show you that in a minute as well, because I was fuming in terms of last game week. Is really, really annoying, but they both done very, very well. Now, I'm not expecting the same thing because they are away from home, and we know what a big deal is in the MLS. Of being away from home, but Velasco is injured for Dallas, so that puts a real kind of dent in their attacking lineup. So who knows, another clean sheet could be on the cards there. We've got Teddy Tuma wearing the armband in there, taking all sets. A decent-ish fixture. It should be a close one, maybe like a 1-1 or something, but hopefully he can nick a decisive or get some decent AA, as what everybody's hoping for. We've got Machida in there, a tough fixture, as I said, against Club Brugge. But again, if they keep a clean sheet, then he should have some very, very good AA. And with that super rare card on there, then boosting that bonus up by about 20, what is it? 20, oh yeah, 26%. And then we've got Kramaric. Kramaric should be back for that Bayer Leverkusen game. It was a toss-up for me between Kramaric and Victor. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but the Girona guy. But I'm actually not playing him this week because Play Sharper and Sorare Data and everyone's predicting that he's going to be on the bench. And I think that Kramaric has been training all week and he should be back. So it's almost like a little bit of a throwaway lineup to a certain extent. I've still got my 2 super rares in there, but I'm not expecting anything from from that. Now, don't tell me Sorare that is. Oh, there we go. Right, let's just refresh this. So that's what I'm kind of looking at the moment. Now you can see that I've left it Victor in here just in cap 220 because I was seeing what decent players that I did have left. So hopefully I hit the cap 240. Hopefully I nick a card out of All-Star or Champion Europe, or maybe both. And then anything in All-Star Rare Plus is just going to be an absolute bonus. What I will end on is showing you last week, because this is the thing that I was fuming about. Not last game week, it was the game week before that, 419. This right here. Look at that. Superb from Fry, superb from Tolo, decent-ish from Machida. Pascal Gross, who's now left the gallery as well. I should probably tell you about that. I was telling people on stream about that last night. If you've got a couple of hours as well and you just want to chat about some Sorare stuff or listen to it and catch up, then I did do a 2-hour stream last night, so feel free to go and listen to that. It's on my YouTube channel. But Johnny Russell DMP'd. Now, all I needed, look, it was 16 points to a tier 3 rare. They absolutely smashed St. Louis 4-1. I would have thought that he would have got a decisive in there. I could have got myself like a nice tier 1 there or a high tier 2. But it wasn't to be. We didn't know that Johnny Russell was going to be out, but it is a little bit gutting. You know, it is a bit gutting. But we're on to this week. Let's see what can happen. There's a few games tonight that I want to watch. Leave a comment down below, guys, as to, do you prioritize cap 240, or are you looking at getting cards, or are you just pumping in money when you need to top up your gallery or whatever? But it's certainly a competition that I'm going to be focusing on now. It's certainly one that I'm going to be prioritizing week in and week out when I come to do my lineup builders, probably like All-Star Rare, and then followed almost by cap 240, because it is that important for me. As always, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see some more, hit the subscribe button. Good luck this game week, and as always, I'll see you in the future.